Hello y'all, welcome back to another video dedicated to help you break out of any toxic behaviors or patterns in your relationship or personal life. I'm Coach Jeanette from @jeanette.xzito on TikTok and Instagram, and in today's video we're going to be talking about essential mindset shifts that you need to make in order to turn from fear of abandonment mindset to secure mindset. And if you're new here and you like all things personal growth and relationship growth, make sure that you subscribe and join the tribe. So what is fear of abandonment mindset? Fear of abandonment mindset is when you feel really afraid whenever there's distance or space in the relationship and you have constant thoughts, or you might be overthinking or ruminating about what if they leave me, like what if they don't like me anymore, all of these things pertaining them leaving and you being afraid. And if you're in that state right now where that's your mindset and you just are exhausted of overthinking that, I'm here for you, I got you, let's change it. First thing that we want to do is note, where is this mindset even coming from? Why do I have this fear of abandonment? So when we have a fear of abandonment, we're literally putting our partner on this pedestal. And we're looking at them and we're thinking that if they leave me, my life is ruined, I'm going to be devastated, and it's over. But we don't want to have that mindset, because when we come from a place of lack, we draw in that needy and desperate energy, and they also feel it. And unfortunately, it places this unconscious expectation on them to feel as if they have to take care of you, and if they aren't there for you, it's all their fault and everything is going to go explosion. This isn't to place any blame on you and telling you that you're a bad person, because I know it's coming from a place of innocence and it's coming from a place of wanting to protect yourself and not wanting someone to leave. And I'm sure you don't even want that for your relationship either. And you probably hate that you need this reassurance or that you're craving this reassurance. And so what do we do about this? What do we do? Well, first we want to go back to that question that we asked before, which is, where is this fear of abandonment coming from? So take out a piece of pen, paper, and let's do some deep introspection right now. All right, what I want you to do is write down the question, where have I seen a pattern of being or feeling abandoned in the past? So maybe it was because your parents were absent growing up and they weren't really there for you emotionally when you needed them to be. Or maybe you had constant affection growing up and you were with your family 24/7 and that you learned to be dependent on them for love, affection, connection, and everything. And so whenever there is this distance between you guys, you feel the separation anxiety. Or maybe you've gone through a really bad breakup and this person left you and they say that they wouldn't, or it was a friend that left you and they said that they wouldn't, and now that has caused you to fear this abandonment from others. So whatever it is for you, I want you to write that down and then think about how you felt in those moments. And think about what you needed to hear in that moment when you were abandoned. Now, all of those things that you needed to hear in that moment, I want you to say them out loud to yourself. All right, so it's not your fault. That should have never happened. You are still worthy and enough, and you deserve to be loved regardless of what happened. Because we want to note down that their actions and behaviors don't define your worth at all. In fact, other people's actions and behaviors is just a mere reflection of projections and wounds within themselves. And maybe they had other reasons for why things happen, but whatever it was, it's not your fault. But with that said, it is our responsibility to heal from these wounds and fears that were built up from whatever happened in the past, so that we don't continuously have these unhealthy patterns come up in our new relationship. So let's talk about some of the biggest mindset shifts that we can have and perceptions that we need to replace in order to go from fear of abandonment mindset to secure mindset. So the first common scenario we have is if they don't text or call us back immediately or for a while. Now, the most common thought that we might have is, oh my gosh, what if they're losing interest in me? What if they don't like me anymore? That's why they're not texting or calling me back. Now, before we go into panic mode, we want to ask ourselves, what if they're not? What if some of these thoughts are just thoughts and it's not true? And what if I'm just projecting my past stories that I had in previous relationships onto my current reality? And so we want to look at the patterns that are happening already in the relationship. So if there is a pattern of your partner not texting or calling you back and they are doing bad things, then we want to confront them about that and we want to set our boundaries. But if there hasn't been any bad incidents or patterns, we want to remind ourselves and ask, what if that's not true? What if this thought is just a thought and they're just busy? So let's replace this thought with, maybe they're just busy right now and I'm gonna give them time to text me back. And you don't want to wait for them to text you back either, right? Go do your hobby or something that you're passionate about. Now, the second scenario is if they would ask for some space and alone time to do their own thing, and we immediately think, oh my gosh, they don't like spending time with me, they hate me, they want to distance themselves because they don't want to be in this relationship anymore. No, we need to replace that with space in a relationship is healthy. It's necessary and it helps both me and my partner to grow. And of course, we're not going to be naive here. So if they're not putting any effort in the relationship at all for closeness and love, then we want to speak up about that as well and talk about expectations with closeness and how you can work that out and compromise. And you know your relationship best, so find that healthy balance for both you and your partner. Now, the third scenario would be if they hang out with their friends instead of you, and then you start thinking, they like their friends more than me, I'm unworthy, yada yada yada. Now, what we want to replace that with is their actions don't define my worth, and hanging out with friends is healthy. Because at the end of the day, we do have other obligations and areas of our life that we want to fulfill as well. So whether it's like family, career, social life, we want to make sure that we have that healthy balance and it's not all just relationship. Now, of course, if you already made plans beforehand and all of a sudden they just hang out with their friends and ignore you, that's a red flag. But I'm sure that that's not the case. And if it is, it's time to cut. Okay, I'm like slightly joking, but if that really happens, that's kind of really disrespectful. So set your boundaries and communicate with them. Number 4 on the list would be thinking, I need them in my life, I can't survive on my own. Well, we can definitely survive without them, and before you object or say anything like that, I want you to think about a scenario where you felt as if it was the end of the world. All right, think about an event where you thought you couldn't survive afterwards. Everything that was happening in that exact moment was just horrible, and nothing will ever, make you come back from it, all right? Now I just want you to think of the reality, right? What happened afterwards? Are you still alive? Did you survive? Are you still here and thriving? Are you still moving on? And did you learn from that? Did you learn from that lesson? How are you doing now? All right? Because a lot of times we blow things in our mind out of proportion and we make it so extreme when it's not as extreme as it is in reality, and we can get through it. We are in control of our mind. We are in control of our thoughts and our actions and everything that happens out afterwards. So let's replace this thought of I can't survive on my own to I am capable of self-soothing and moving forward, and I will not abandon myself in the process of trying not to lose someone else. Now, with that said, these are the 4 biggest mindset shifts that you need to make in order to go from fear of abandonment mindset to secure mindset. So it's easier said than done, and sometimes when you're overthinking, it's really hard to control your thoughts because you're just so overwhelmed. And so if that's the case, I just want to remind you to self-soothe first. So take a second to breathe, some breathing exercises, go outside to run, do something that makes you happy. And before you act and react right away about that situation, take some time to reflect and then later on respond. But with that said, if this video helped you today, make sure that you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And comment down below what you want to see in our next week's video. And if you're looking for more one-on-one guidance, you can always DM me on Instagram. I do one-on-one coaching. And if you want some loving and supportive community, join our Facebook group as well. All the links will be in the description box below. Thank you for watching today's video, and as always, you got this.